Hey there, boys and girls. There's old bear. I just wanted to come up here and show you some of the view coming out of Newfound Gap. I don't know, with the sun in your eyes, how well y'all gonna be able to see that. But that sure is a pretty view for old bear. All them mountains. Wonder which ones of them I climbed. How's it going, folks? So some folks down at the park there, Newfound Gap. It's a pretty big little spot. Stopped me on my way through, and they wanted to take pictures and whatnot. Talked to me. They said something about wanting to get a picture with a real hiker. I told them, I don't know if I'm a real hiker, but I'm sure trying to be. And they seemed to be inspired, I guess was a good word. You know, they liked rubbing elbows with stinky old bear. So that was kind of a neat interaction. Usually in town, you know, they see the through hikers and they're like, oh, it's some smelly, rowdy bunch. And when you get up here in some of the sightseeing spots, the tourists seem to kind of like you a little better. So, oh, hey, what do you think of Bear's new sun hat? Got that in the hiker box because I don't like to burn my bald head in the sun. So I hike without a shirt on a lot because being in Oregon, it doesn't get this hot very much. This is summertime weather for an Oregonian. So, yeah. Show you another spot of that view, and we'll get on down the trail here in a moment. Hope that works out for you guys. Sure is gorgeous. See a couple roads out there, over there. Mountains as far as the eye can see. All the way out there. And it is a way out there. Alrighty, guys, we'll see you up the trail probably when I get to Cold Water Springs or Ice Water Springs. There's a shelter up the way I'm going to stay at. Oh, good news. Gatlinburg costs a lot of money. Boy, it's like a carnival out there. But they do have an NOC shop. And I got a new tarp for my hammock. So I can hammock up now again. And my legs will be happier for that a lot. And I got a knife to replace the one I got broken for me a while back. So I got another good bush knife, lightweight, and quality knife from Mora Knife. I think it's called a Companion. Wasn't expensive, but it'll do the job out here for certain. A few other things, a couple tent stakes. The night I hiked into, I want to say, not Molly's Ridge, Derrick Knob. Hiked into Derrick Knob in the middle of a terrible rainstorm. It had been going on for 2 days basically. Showed up there just about hypothermic, and in my efforts to warm up and get some food in me and whatnot, somehow I misplaced my spoon. So I traded my Sea Summit aluminum long-handled spoon for a titanium spoon fork combination. It works out pretty good. I don't usually care to carry a fork on the trail just because, one, it's sharp and pokey, and you don't need a lot of food that needs a fork. I mean, some people say you need a fork for ramen. I think they're silly because I just crush my ramen up and eat it with a spoon. But we ordered Chinese food last night, and I got sweet and sour chicken, which you kind of want a fork for if you don't have chopsticks. So it worked out pretty good. Well, Bear new titanium spoon fork. It's not a spork, it's a spoon on one end, a fork on the other. I think they're kind of silly when they made it because they put a little bit of serrated spot on the fork, maybe for cutting meat or something. But I figure if I'm cutting a steak or a pork chop or something, I probably want a fork to hold it in place with. So, good looking out, but that don't work so good. Yeah, that's about all from Newfound Gap. We'll head on down the road. We'll head out and down the trail, and we'll see you then. I don't know if y'all can see that deer right there. And she's literally 10 feet from me. Just nibbling away. She had a friend over there somewhere. There's two of them. So we're up here at Ice Water Springs Shelter. These two doe are just hanging out over here. I spooked them going to have a pee here just before I go to bed. Just thought I'd share with y'all. There she goes. Off in the brush. All right, guys. Good night. Well, hey there, boys and girls. As you can see, I'm breaking Bear's cardinal hammock rule number 1, which is no hots. No flame in the hammock. But it's chilly out there. I'm bedding down. Just wanted to come at you guys and say, hey, it was neat to see that deer. I hope it shows up in the video pretty well. It didn't look like it did, but you can kind of see it. There's a couple of doe that were cruising around over here by the bear bags, probably 30 feet from my hammock or so. I went to go have last pee before the night and spooked them doe, and they didn't spook far, so I tried to get a little video of them. But I also wanted to come in and say, thank you very much to my sweet, sweet Sarah. She made sure that I had the opportunity to resupply this nice tarp that y'all may or may not see. I like camo in my hammock gear. Eventually my hammock itself will be camo, but what I got right now is pretty nice. So I got camo pillow here in my black pillowcase. My down puffy will go in there with that, make a nice extra pad and pillow if I need it, or I can keep wearing it if I want to stay warm. I wanted to just go out there and say, thank you so much, sweetheart, for making sure I got my tarp set up well and handled. I got a couple lightweight MSR mini groundhog stakes, and those are real small and light, and I like them quite a bit. But yeah, it's really neat seeing the deer up here. They're clearly not too scared of us because she didn't go far. Her friend was a little smaller, a little more skittish. But yeah, it's been a nice night, and I know I haven't slept in my hammock in days, probably a week. Since Franklin, North Carolina, I haven't really slept in my hammock. I tried one night, and it just poured down rain, and I got that Hennessy hammock tarp that didn't quite cover my system, so it didn't work out great. And this is what do they call it? Eno Pro Fly. So I don't usually like to sport and rep the Eno gear too much, but I'm seeming to fall into it as I go along. I need to pick up new hammock gear, so I got some Eno straps and Eno tarp. We'll probably end up replacing that with some Dutch wear straps along the way, or not along the way, but eventually. And we're gonna probably go ahead and get a camo hammock to go with my camo tarp and my camo underquilt and my camo pillow there. And it's really nice. I'm gonna sleep so good tonight. I rolled into Ice Water Springs Shelter here, just past Newfound Gap, and my light's falling. Sorry about that. There we go. I was like the second hiker here that was staying, and I just sort of hung out until the shelter filled up for the most part, and then once it was all filled up, I set up my hammock, and as soon as I crawled into it, I laid down. I instantly yawned and got sleepy. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to sleep good tonight. Warm and cozy, even though we're up here on the top of this ridge, and it's chilly out, but I'm doing just fine. I ain't even got my top quilt on yet. Just laying here in my puffy, my down hat. I love this hat, by the way. It's a outdoor research down beanie. I think they call it Transcendent beanie. And boy, it is a nice, warm, compact piece of gear. I like it a lot. It complements my puffy jacket pretty well. Pretty stoked with my Ghost Whisperer coat too. I got the beanie because I don't care for hoods too much. I don't know, I spend too much time in the woods, and I like to hear and see everything clear. So if I need the extra warmth, I got my beanie. And tonight's a good night to have it. So thanks again, sweetheart. I love you and I miss you. And talk to you as soon as I have some real service again. Thanks for sharing a chat with coffee this morning with me. That was nice. Well, alrighty, y'all. I will catch up to you. Oh, sorry, I'm on my finger there. I'll catch up to you guys here in the morning, probably. And I'm going to finish this cigarette, have a little water, and sack on out. We'll see you in the morning. I don't know if y'all can hear that wind. To me, it sounds like I'm at the coast in Oregon. I'm hammocked up on a couple of pretty sizable trees. Probably foot and a half thick. It's enough that it takes up at least 3 of the 4 feet of my Helios straps from, and it's strong enough wind to be shaking me around a little bit, bouncing me up and down. Pretty amazing. If by now in your hike you haven't felt pretty small compared to the world, this kind of wind shall make you feel that way. Bouncing up and down a little bit like a yo-yo from the breeze pushing the trees around, make you feel that way. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna go back to sleep.